Well, I don't like being the bearer of sad or bad tidings. I really don't, but this is not good news, I'm afraid. Britain's rail network will be crippled by strikes once again. This is after train drivers announced a fresh series of strikes and an overtime ban later this month. The Aslef union's latest wave of industrial action will have an impact on 17 different rail operators across 9 days. That's from Monday the 29th of January all the way through till Tuesday the 6th of February. Joining me in the studio now, independent travel editor Simon Calder. Good to see you. Thanks for coming. Oh dear.
Yes, I don't want to be the voice of travel doom either, but I'm afraid we've got 2 weeks into the new year and here we are with new strikes. Bear in mind, we're now into the third year in which this has dragged on. We've had national rail strikes back in the 1980s, but they were sort of sorted out in a few weeks. For this to be dragging on so long is frankly absurd, extraordinarily damaging to passenger confidence, and the last thing that anybody needs.
Just remind people why Aslef say they're striking.
Well, they want... they say that some of their drivers haven't had a pay rise for 5 years. They say, we want a decent, no-strings pay rise that reflects the high inflation, and we'll take that. And then if you want to talk about modernising stuff, delighted to do that. But, of course, as usual, anything that we agree to, you're going to be buying from us. It will cost you a couple of % on our basic pay. The government, which is now spending about £58 million a week on top of the normal subsidies, keeping the railways going, they say, via the train operators, but they're effectively pulling all the strings, they say, you're joking. We can only even give you a modest increase, 4% last year, 4% this year, if you agree to completely radical reform of your working conditions. The train drivers, who are very well organised, very strong, voted very, very strongly in favour of more strikes, say, no, you're joking. And they are basically just coming back once again saying we're still here, and furthermore we can wreak havoc across the rail network for 9 days, and yet all our members are only going to lose 1 day's pay because it's another rolling strike, region by region, which really destabilises all sorts of things.
And I mean, this is a view rather than a fact, but do you feel as if the public is behind Aslef and rail strikes in the same way that the public, or great swathes of the public at any rate, do support junior hospital doctors and do support to some extent teachers and nurses when they strike? Or do you think the general perception is that actually railway staff, particularly drivers, are well paid? They're not at the lower paid end of this cycle, and therefore the public loses patience with them pretty quickly.
I don't think there's anything like the same degree of sympathy. So you are talking about people, and everybody seems to agree with this, that they get £60,000 for a basic 4-day week without overtime. At the moment, that would be going up to £65,000. But of course, the drivers say, no, we are extremely well trained. It's a difficult, specialised job, lots of unsocial hours. So we want to be properly rewarded. And it's against a background where, frankly, the Prime Minister hasn't got a moment for rail. Therefore, he's not prepared to say, come on, let's try and reach a compromise. And the Aslef are just saying, look, we're just going to keep going, keep reminding people that we're here. And meanwhile, if you're travelling between, as you say, the 29th of January and the 6th of February, be prepared for disruption. Worst day, I think, is going to be a week tomorrow. So that will be the 30th, when you will get all the big commuter lines in London going on strike. So all the ones to the south, all the ones to the north, that's going to be pretty disruptive. And then the following weekend, the 2nd and 3rd, Friday and Saturday, you're going to get the long distance West Coast and East Coast main lines going on strike.
So alongside all of this, Simon, is the weather. And we're hearing -11 and we're hearing proper snow that doesn't go away overnight, real kind of, weather conditions to be reckoned with. Are we hearing of weather having an impact on travel already?
We are. It's mostly affecting the north of Scotland, and it's mostly affecting high altitude lines. So in particular, the stretch from Perth, beautiful, normally main line going across to Inverness. What they are doing, because temperature's coming down so low, -10 or below, they are doing odd things with the very first and very last trains, so that they are cancelling those to send out inspectors to kind of warm up the points and things like that.
Gosh.
Just to make sure there aren't problems later in the day. And I fear it will get slightly worse before it gets better. And of course, if you are travelling by rail, it's much safer than going by road. And if you are going by road, be very careful out there.
Absolutely. And just final question. The last time you were here, which feels only seconds away, although I love seeing you. I love seeing you every day. It's a pleasure having you here. But that was talking about the US and UK kind of airstrikes on the Houthi rebels in Yemen, and whether that might have an impact on flights over the area, and whether flights would have to take a big detour going around the place. And actually, you're not finding too much of an impact.
No, there hasn't been too much of an impact, except among the public who are getting in touch with me saying, I'm going to Egypt. Just got a couple today. You know, I'm really worried about what's going on in the Red Sea, and I don't blame them for that question. There you are, you're in Hurghada on the lovely Red Sea,
Yeah, I've
or
been there.
Sharm el Sheikh,
Absolutely, I've
or
been to
indeed
both
in
of those
good
places.
times in
Yeah,
Eilat.
yeah,
on
I've
the
been
Red
there
Sea,
too. Yep.
and Aqaba. But it's 1,000 miles from where this action is taking place. So people, I can understand their concerns, but I wouldn't for one moment hesitate to go there tomorrow and enjoy the sunshine, warm welcome, and sunny skies.
Remember the days when you used to say Eilat, where the sun takes its winter holiday?
Yes.